structural consultant, and we will do municipal licensing mostly. Thank you. Pass on the mic.
Sir, I am Madinani AE CPWD, Rajahmundry. Good evening, everybody. I am Avek Kumar, Executive Engineer, CPWD, Rajahmundry.
Good evening, everybody. This is Professor Subana, Professor of Civil Engineering from JIT Kakinada.
Good evening, sir, Sandhya, and good evening, my friends and my students. I am Dr. D. Koteshwara, Professor of Civil Engineering in JNTK, and I do consultancy in soil mechanics and foundation engineering. I am working in the university since 31 years. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is G. Shekhar, Yavata Associates, Consulting Civil Engineering.
Good evening, everybody. My name is N. Bhaskar Rao. I am a ACCA treasurer, Kakinada chapter. Myself, I'm an MBA consultant. I'm operating as a consulting civil engineer and as well as builder. Thank you very much.
I am Ramesh Sachinamurthy from Yanam, doing consulting civil engineer. As a Swati Associates is my formula.
Good evening, all of you. My name is Neeraj Prasad. I am a value and control.
My name is A. Ram Mohan, consulting engineer and value
J. Srinivas Rao, consulting engineer and value.
Good evening, sirs. My name is Dr. Kevin Nasamara. I am consulting civil engineer, basically doing structural and foundation engineering. Besides, we have quality control testing machines.
Good evening, sirs. Myself is Rajbabu, consulting engineer and
Good evening, everyone. My name is Venu, consulting engineer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sai Varaprasad, consultant civil engineer, Sai Mohan Associates, Kakinada.
I'm Raj Kumar, consulting.
Good evening, Mandal. I am Shivaprasad. I am a structural consultant.
Good evening, Ananda. I am Jisir Kumar. I am civil engineer and architecture designer.
Good evening, everybody. Myself, D. Amrutkaran, assistant civil engineer.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Samantha. I'm from Amlapuram. I'm working as a structural engineer under the guidance of my father. He is from Amlapuram.
From Amlapuram, structural engineer, Subramanian. Samantha's father.
Yeah.
I am V. Nageshwara, consulting civil engineer.
Good evening, sir. I am Sastabra sir. GP Associates Consulting Civil Engineer, sir. Practice from 25 years. Licensed surveys and trainings.
Good evening, sir. I am Venu Srinivas, consulting civil engineer. Kakinada.
Good evening, everyone. My name is K. Venkat Savaji. I'm from R. As a engineer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vishwas. I am a study.
Good evening, sir. My name is T.V. Srinivas, coming from Turi, SVR Club.
Good evening, everybody. Myself, Srinivas Tejamontula, firm Share Consultants. I am a consulting civil engineer and valuer from Turi. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I am Sivaram Krishna, Sriko Construction.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sridevi, consulting
Consulting, Kannada.
Good evening everyone, I am Asif Devta Associates, Consulting Civil Engineer.
Good evening, everyone. J. Tejeshwar Sai, consulting engineer, Max Consultants.
Good evening, Manda. My name is AVS Raja, Consulting Engineer, Kannada. I am happy to join this chapter.
I'm Kara Ramakrishna, Max Consultants, consulting engineer, Kannada.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rahul, supporting staff.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jayesh Kumar. I am supporting engineering from supporting engineer in our associates.
My name is Ramakrishna, Civil Engineering, Amnagar.
Good evening, all of you. This is Yadko, consulting civil engineer and your associates.
Good evening, all. I am in a special care for agriculture consulting engineer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is M.N.R. Chakravarma, consulting civil engineer and builder, Lakshmi Associates.
Hi there, this is Engineer Krishna Prasad from Crystal Interiors, practicing interiors and architecture. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vasu Alapan, consulting civil engineer, Icon Designs.
Good evening, one and all. Myself, G. Ramakrishna. I'm a structural consultant and architect consultant in National Biodiversity.
Hello, switch off that line. So now, I request all of you who are the less than 15 years, please raise your hand. Practicing or civil engineering, less than 15 years. More than 15 years? All.
More than 30 years.
More than 30 years. Anyway, they are gurus of. Anyway, sir, we are here. Let us. More than 30 years, people. What are the challenges you faced? What do you want to guide to the?
Given in National Building Code, those are to be strictly followed. Because with the experience only, they made those recommendations. We should honor them. Wherever your expertise is not sufficient, that is a competency. Competency levels are very important. There is no harm. There is no harm in using expert services wherever needed. For routine cases, you can have your experience and based on that you can make your designs, but don't do wherever your competency levels are not to the mark or to the reach, then take the advice of seniors and you can implement them so that your reputation will increase like anything. Otherwise, if any problem comes, your total future will be affected with that wrong decision. So ultimately, what I suggest is wherever your competency levels are comfortable, up to that level, you work for yourself, and above that, you take the advice and services of seniors so that your reputation will increase and the structures will be in a safe condition. Thereby, you are saving the nation's money and reputation of the profession. That's very important.
Thank you. All of you must be aware that CPWD and R&D buildings, the cost construction varies. All of you must be aware. They are 20 to the more than the regular state buildings. Because they, as you said, they take everything into account, and you see the CPWD buildings and R&D buildings. Compare the lifespan, life cycle, how they are functioning, they are giving the service. That is the one notable point, sir. And any other points, sir? More than 30 years. You have a chance to say something.
The CPWD buildings are already schools are designed by some engineers. But why they are falling down?
There are localized conditions.
School building.
Localized conditions.
Not local.
Workmanship, localized conditions.
Designed by executive senior people only. Why it is happening?
Can I give the answer for your question?
Madhavan Sundaragauri.
Is that, sir, design aspect is different from execution part. Yeah, execution, during execution, how many engineers are insisting for, suppose if you are not going to use graded metal, that means 20 mm and downgraded. You have to add around 40% of to have graded proper gradation. How many are using that? And how many are using the 20 mm metal which is passing through 20 mm? As per IS code, 85 to 100% should pass through 20 mm. How many are using that? All these parameters, how many are defined the PM, there the possibility of efflorescence and spalling will be there in the shortest duration. It means less than 8 to 10 years, spalling will take place. So one should be very careful in using the quality of material. That is very important. Graded material, graded aggregates have to be used. And how many for M30 concrete or M35 concrete, how many people are insisting for mixed design? Like thumb rule, they are going. With thumb rule, sometimes it may fetch or it may work out. But all times it will not work out. So many parameters are there. But when if you want to say anything about the structural design part, if they fail because of structural design failure, then the responsibility of CPWD engineers or senior engineers will be there. But execution part, the site engineer should take care of this. And we have to train our site engineers well for the concrete quality of concrete mixing. That's very important. This we want to organize one direct training program. We are asking the Kadai people to make one site engineers meet. That's not happening. For last 6-7 months, we are asking, myself and Durga Prasad are asking to make a site engineers meet, so that we want to train them. So site execution part is very important than the design part. Design part is one, and that takes 50% action, and remaining 50% is field execution.
With this, I would like to say all that South India today president and myself are working out a solution to work together and give a manual kind of thing in the construction practices. And many people, even a lot of books are there. We wanted to improvise, give it a clean, monitor to all the people. That is one way of working out. We, with all of your help also required in that case. Now, anybody this problem you have a solution. Mainly, you have a coastal region basically. A lot of things you need to take care while doing the concrete and covers and everything. That also sometimes at lower level may not follow at the execution time. So all those things are there for the failure of some buildings. Every success, maybe 95%, 5% failure will be there. That's the reason we learn from. So next, anybody? Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, my only suggestion, sir, we are here as a national body to address the problem issues. Let us not get into details of design, how they are facing problems and challenges, and we wanted to address it and debate and come to a decision or come to some conclusions.
Fine, sir. In the same manner I am discussing. Regarding whenever we are going the tenders for the government departments, there is a scenario with respect to the one is technical competency of the consultant, and second one is the turnover of the consultancy firm. Whenever we are seeing the turnover of the consultancy firm, the turnovers they are putting is in a much higher value, like 3 crores, 5 crores. Is it necessary for any consultancy firm having that much of turnover to complete a design work? In most of the cases, we are losing the opportunity, sir. They are putting 3 crores or 5 crores turnover. For a place like Kakinada, we are not able to having that much of turnovers of crores of rupees.
I have
That is one my question.
Number one. I have a solution. I have an answer for this. Yeah, help me.
Shall I complete?
Yeah, please.
My second question is regarding the design part is considered. in most of the cases, we are missing the design basis report. That is the case where we are getting different types of designs. As rightly said by Sundar and the other people, we are having that lack of this design basis report for any government institution. Some of the departments are giving, but most of the departments are not giving the design basis. Coming to the private people, that is entirely missing. That leads to the entirely different, even though the designers are competent enough, that gives you a different type of solutions from the different designers we have. Some people will adopt the complete designing, including the wind loads and the seismic loads, including the gravity loads, and some people will skip that. Once we have the clear-cut design basis report, that the entire uniformity is there. In my opinion, there should be uniform with respect to the design basis. And the third point is proof checking of the designs. In most of the cases, this proof checking is missing for the small to medium works. Whenever we are doing the big works, we generally go with higher agencies. Generally, the departments itself will insist for the proof checking. For small cases, this lag is there. That some discrepancy with respect to the competency of the design or the proof checking standards of the design is considered. That is one issue. And the last issue is regarding the sponsored research. That is, whenever we have problems with the software subject, whenever we are seeing the designs, some of the designs we have is not up to the mark. I am not commenting anyone, but once I see especially some of the foundation designs, it is not up to the mark. I request the ACE should have some association with any university, like our JNT is there. I'm also expected from JNT. There should be some sort of sponsored designs based for the local problems is considered. Thereby, we can have a concurrent and foolproof solution for a given particular situation is considered, like the foundations in the software. So there are so many issues when the issues are covered. These are the 4 points I want to address.
The first point what you asked is about the turnover.
Yes, sir, yes.
So I did have discussion with many of the government agencies in this regard. The planning commission has given a ruling in some cases. That is their that I have a paper of it. What planning commission will give a direction. Please know. What they're telling is to get the more talented, more experienced people. There is a planning commission directed the agencies which are funded by the external agencies to have this turnover like that. 300 times, 3 times, 4 times, more than 100 times. So all that is a discussion of the agency which is floating the tender. I have challenged this, but they are not accepting. So we need to address at the planning commission level. ACC would like to address this because I have already in my mind. We need to address it because any work you are doing is a control work of work you are doing, if at least 50% or 60% should be turnover of a company. Agreed. But it is, we even, Sundaragaru and myself fought in the even case also. Then they did something. But it is not fully satisfactory. So let us work out a modality. You give your suggestions, write to us at SEC headquarters or to individuals, and we'll find a solution. And this is a major problem we are facing. And some are fixed and already according to their requirement, they are fixing it and floating the tenders. That also is happening. In both ways, it is a challenging problem is there. We'll address it through the association. And we need all of your recommendations and comments for that.
Definitely, sir.
Number 2, design-based report. Design-based report, sir, how many of us are maintaining our documentation? If you are doing a small project or big project or anything, not I'm talking about the documentation means if a completion of the project, are you handing over a complete documentation right from the conception to the completion? Are you handing out to any client? That means including as-built drawings. Including as-built drawings. Are you handing it to your clients? No. When you wanted to ask for a design-based report, for your only reference, you are asking you to design check. It's not only parameter of the design check. We have electrical, plumbing, other services, and many other things are there. Where I wanted, if I build a government project, at least some records are maintaining. Now, even that in government also is a pathetic situation. If one ground floor is done, they wanted to extend for 2-3 floors, there's no documentation available previous drawings. Not only drawings, including services. The soil test reports, nothing is available. So let us all first, before preaching to others, let us practice. Let us practice that we should have a document right from the soil investigation photos to the completion of the project. After completion with the building, because most of us are practicing building engineers are here. I'm talking about a building. Other subjects we have, I can discuss with you, but only buildings we are discussing here now. Let us make it a possibly even a small independent house of single bedroom or 2 bedroom to the base of any project, any tune of the project. Let us make practice a documentation. That is where the difference between the Western countries and ourselves. So we need to make it happen. At least something, if something goes wrong in a building, something where you can be able to at least find out where went wrong. So let us make it, let us pledge today ourselves that, we'll make a documentation of our own buildings which we design or practice or execute. Make it a habit that we have it from starting to ending. We have it, the documentation is available with the client. You have a copy with you, and you have a copy with the client consultant, and you have a copy with the contractor, and copy with the client. That three should be matching. A signed document. So there you have all the documents. Your design-based report also will be there. Either your evidence for the anything to do. And proof sheet. Sorry. We're running out of time. All of you are agree, sir?
Naturally.
We complete within 2 minutes.
We can extend up to.
So proof checking, we need to have explanation. That is a very debatable subject, and not only institutions, we are also asking. Only institutions are doing now. There are people who have expertise and experience, exposure of institutions or more than institutions also. So we'll debate it as a separate forum, and we'll definitely. It should be a proof checking panel should be established at every level. That we can do.
One thing we can do, sir, we can take dinner and we can continue.
Yeah, you can, if you want, you can get the plates. After 5 minutes, we'll have a time. If you want to we'll get the plates and have dinner and talk. If you, all of you okay. Because this opportunity of meeting you all again, when we get, we don't know. We are here for today only. If you permit. Next, foundations solves including documentation. So next, sir, anybody?
Here I want to.
Yeah.
I want to make one more suggestion. When you are designing for, suppose if you are designing for G plus 3 floors, and now you are constructing only G plus 1 floor. Nobody knows for how many floors you have designed. After some time, we may forget about that.
That is where documentation.
Yeah, that's why what I suggest is in the foundation drawing, you make a note. This building is designed for stilt plus G plus 3 floors or stilt plus G plus 2 floors like that. And the SBC SBC calculate SBC is 15 tons or 20 tons per square meter like that. If those details are written in the footings drawing itself, that will solve a lot of future problems.
Yes, that is parts of the documentation. It will be sorted out. Now, any other question, sir? What you are expecting as a members from ACC? What you are expecting? President is here, Secretary is here, Vice President is here. What you are expecting? What you are expecting as a member from the ACC?
What was your purpose for joining this association?
To gain knowledge from sharing the knowledge from each and everyone. Because many
it
people are having different.
Sir, my only yes, absolutely right.
So some people are structural designers. Some people are
Collaborative work.
Yeah, collaborative work.
Collaborative work.
We are understanding all.
See,
the
everybody
techniques.
knows everything. We know something, we are expert in something, but we don't know something, we are not expert. Our colleague, our consultant, our dear professors, they are expert in some area. So we need to collaborate. Collaborate and work together. That is where this association, one-to-one association, and make this as a platform to make this happen. So don't feel that if you don't know anything, don't shy. If I don't know anything, I ask Sundaram, I ask Maya. So let us ask. There is nothing wrong. Nobody need not be perfect. And some soil investigation, I had asked some question to the Kodishwara also. Did I send you one? So knowledge where you have your choice. But abundance of knowledge is available along with us. We have to make use of it. Not only in Kakinada sector, I am telling. If you want any expertise, opinion, some free cost, some will get free cost, free of cost, and some will get some minimum amount because you are associated. You can associate all over India. And we are also trying to keep all the codes in our website. All the codes. Please refer. Let us upgrade ourselves. Lot of codes are getting revised and there are draft codes are available. And let us upgrade ourselves. Until unless we upgrade ourselves, we don't find a question into it, then you don't know what is happening outside. So don't be in your own shell. Come out of shell and let us make it happen. Yeah, please.
If you have any specific request that you want HQ, headquarter, do it for you, do it for your center, then let us know. Because माँ भी बच्चों को तब तक दूध नहीं पिलाती जब तक वो होता नहीं. So let us give the feedback. Let us know what exactly you want. We are going to make an attempt. Whatever possible things are there, we are here to provide it to you. Yes, sir.
Something, this market present this thing, we have engineers, architects, but being a civil engineer, we are not getting that, architects, how they are getting the name. If you see in the base level, civil engineer can do anything, like starting from planning, structural design, elevations, everything. But frankly, I don't know whether any architect is here. But architect cannot design the structure. He can plan. He can build design an elevation. But in the market, civil engineer is not considered he's a whole person. Architects are gaining all these okay.
Yeah,
Even
tender
also
from the city where I came,
yeah.
Nashik.
Yeah.
Architects only do 20% of the jobs. 80% of the designs, architectural designs are done by civil engineers in my city.
It is fanciness, they are getting names and
I come to
recognition.
Sir,
They are, that's what we have
see, architects, when a client goes to architect, what he says, I'm charging so and so per square feet or some percentage. What we're doing is, in the fright of not getting a job, the client may lose. We will lose our client. We are degrading ourselves. Let us all come together. All of you decide yourself in this round who are practicing engineers. This is a standard practice. You want deliverable so and so, we'll charge this much only. Not less than a penny less. Because you're doing everything as architectural job, structural job, services, everything you're attempting. So all of you come to a consensus. See, clients, everybody will get a business in this world for our civil engineers. We have plenty of fun. Don't worry. And a lot of opportunities are there. But only thing is, let us not degrade ourselves and charge less and suffer. My only, this actually I wanted to, this question may be asked in the first year I was thinking actually. See, we are suffering. The budding people less than 20 years or 15 years, they are suffering. They are yet to establish. They wanted to survive. Sustainability is not happening. In the 15 years of practice also, so many people are facing challenges. More than 15 years, somehow they got name, they are pushing it. Am I right, sir? So, less than 15 years practice. From the day one, when you start your practice, you should perish. We should not repent that I have done some job and I have got much money. So you want us to evolve that as an association, you want us to do a qualification, a certification, something like exam and passing out, they should only practice, something like that, let us do it. No. Nobody will come forward. ECI tried and failed. We wanted to give an examination after 5 years. First everybody enrolled and next we wanted to renewal. We wanted to give an exam. Everybody disgraced. So this purpose of this meeting is all of us as a fraternity, civil engineering fraternity. Let us make it happen. Our urgent request to all of you. If any challenge you are facing, as an association, we want to address. We are ready to come anytime to talk to anybody.
Just one point. We don't have that pride what architects have, whether it's false or wrong. The way they see it, it is a mistake like within us. As I said, there is one category in civil engineers. Problem is that diploma holders, civil engineers, and MTech. There is some gap is there. Gradation is there, and in practice also it is there. That needs to be eradicated. Two things I want to tell. One is what Badam Sundarao said. These are 27 years I've been practicing. Recently I had some issues with pitching. What is that? Pitching. I didn't look here and there. I told my client I will bring my senior and structural one of my gurus is there. I'll bring him. I brought him. He appreciated my gesture, telling that at least you accepted that you are short of some knowledge and you have brought out some person who are capable of giving a solution. My dear friends, youngsters, please never ever think that you know everything. No, even I also don't know everything. He also doesn't know everything. Whenever there is a doubt, talk to the expertise. The ultimate product should not suffer because of your internal ego. Please, humbleness, lack of knowledge. And the second thing, start respecting ourselves, sir. Licensing job, how much we are doing on our own, we are giving to brokers. I don't know this place. Architecture, they got a documentation, pakka documentation. You want this is the money you need to pay. If you want me to come to site, you better pay me. If you don't pay me, one stage, if the payment doesn't come, that even for his father also, that details will not come. How many of you are doing? If one person makes one site visit per week, you offer him two site visit per week. We are degrading ourselves, our services, and we are not valuing our time also. Exactly. That is one thing we need to do. If one work goes, forget it. Another work will come. Never degrade yourself and don't spoil the market. Sometimes I heard in my places, people are doing a supervision jobs and they're planning at square feet basis area. Per square feet. That amount of money, how can you give it as service, having your own staff along with you, having your own overheads, everything? It is not possible. So architects are better marketing people, better public relation people. We need to take care of it.
Sir, three things as civil engineers we need to do. Let us learn leadership qualities. Let us learn better communication. Let us learn better documentation. And let us have a skill set along with us. And because you are doing at a lower cost, your pirated software you are using, it is going to become the biggest challenge. You have a very lesser cost software are there. If you want anybody, you can talk to people. Get lesser cost software. Use only official license software. Or if you want, you will share your licenses and do it. This is my suggestion to all of you. Anybody wanted to final questions to anybody? Only one question. Anybody? Last question. No? Can we give the president to give the closing remark?
I think it's almost 10 o'clock now. And Bhagavad Buddha said, don't teach anyone empty stomach. So let's have some food and discuss what the day.
I don't know what to do.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank ACCA team, Vijay Kumar Sana, Rajkumar Kacharla, Vijay Vishnu Maya for their valuable time spending with Kakinada Center. Since 3 to 4 days, they are in continuous journey and scheduled for with inaugurations. They are sleepless night yesterday. I would like to thank Ultratech Cements for their sponsorship support in this program. I would like to thank all of our members of ACCA Kakinada. I would like to thank JNTU senior faculty for attending this program. I would like to thank the engineers come from far distance to make this program success. I would like to thank Shiv Prasad, Sairam, Ramakrishna, and members for their support for their contribution in this program organization. I would like to thank ACCA headquarters team, Anna Gowda, Ekambram, and Diksha for making arrangements for our leaders to arrive Kakinada. Thank you all. Have a good dinner. Sorry, sir. I would like to thank our Hyderabad chairman, Kashiram sir. Sorry, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Have a dinner. Thank you.
Sir, after dinner, from Ultratech Cement, we have arranged some compliments. Please take while going.
Oh, we thought cocktail.